Sex Talk, Derek and Miley, 'cause sexuality is tough. And okay, sex just isn't good enough, no. Sex Talk with Derek and Miley.
Hey folks, Erica Miley here. Welcome to Sex Talk with Erica Miley. Glad to be with you all this week. I want to introduce and have him introduce himself. Some of you know this person already. I want to introduce my husband, Aaron Miley. Hi.
Hi, folks. This is Aaron Miley. Thanks for having me on the show today.
So there's a purpose for him to be here on this show today. And the big purpose is we want to talk to you about kind of one of those big things that we're doing. Well, big things to us. We're going to be offering relationship coaching groups. Woo!
Woo!
So to kick off these coaching groups, we're going to be offering some free workshops, both in person and online. So I'm going to give you the details more than one time because I don't know about all of you, but I have a hard time keeping information in my head. So the online one will be January 8th, and the in-person one will be in Northport, Florida on January 9th. Both of them you can sign up for at ericamiley.com/workshop. And Aaron geniusly arranged all of that. So when you go to that website, you can pick from which one you want to do. Because I don't expect those of you who are across the world to try to show up to the one in person. But we would love to have you in the online one if you're far away. So we wanted to give you a little bit of taste of what's coming in this workshop. We really wanted to bring you a really awesome, actionable workshop to where you could get to know both of us, but also then take some steps to improving your relationships, your sex life, and money.
Money's important. We all deal with it every day.
And this time of year, I mean, those of you who listen to this in the future, we're recording this during Christmas time. This is one of those times of year that money becomes a really tough thing for most of us, that we don't necessarily make our money plans around the holidays. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And there's stress that goes with either one of those things.
Yeah, definitely.
You look at all the list of bills that you have, and then you look at all of the extra expenses that go with the holidays of any kind, and you go, oh, awesome, how am I going to make this happen? And then it also happens that we don't communicate about it all that well.
No, and that's the biggest thing in anyone's relationship is communication about money. It's crazy how many people I've talked to over the years that their number one problem is money, but they don't talk about it. But it's the number one problem.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we go from there?
Yeah. It's hard when we spend a lot of time, because a lot of the time we will spend a majority of our conflict time fighting about nothing. So we'll fight about the socks that got left on the floor. We'll fight about the underwear, coffee cups. He may be saying that with some serious knowledge on my coffee cup problem.
It's not a problem anymore. They at least make it into the sink.
He does complain about the many coffee cups that we have. That also tends to be a problem.
So you know how normal people have glasses and all that other stuff? Yeah, we have coffee cups.
Yes, coffee cups. Yeah, it's a problem. But I love them. I can't help myself. So the thing that we want you to be able to take away from this workshop is that you can talk about anything, and that the communication around that and how you do that communication with each other is completely possible. And there's a big part of this that we don't talk about, which is the power dynamics. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
That's an intense word for that. It's the power differential between people, and that exists in every relationship, regardless of how healthy it is. Mm-hmm. And it can look very different from relationship to relationship. The big one is when you have two income earners and one is far larger than the other.
I see this with my clients all the time. All the time. This is one of the biggest complaints that they have is things have changed. They don't know how to talk about it. Or someone has more of an income and the other doesn't, and they feel like they've lost their purpose. Mm-hmm. Or the other thing I hear is that they grew up in poverty and they're not altogether sure how to manage what comes next now that they're no longer living in poverty, or they feel guilty about no longer living in poverty.
And I can be with a really specific example is someone they grew up in extreme poverty, and all of a sudden they're making $500,000 in advertising. They didn't know how to manage the money outside of a scarcity mentality. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But they all of a sudden have, 100 times what their old income was, or what their entire household income was growing up. And so now they have the same behaviors, just with a lot more money. So for someone like me, who is an investor, who likes to save money, we look at it from I increased my income $100,000. And we use that as a vague example, but the $100,000 is, to me, I would go, okay, that's just going to go right either into the bank or investments, or, things that generate income. But comes from a wealth mentality, not from a scarcity. And I'm one of those people that grew up in a scarce environment. I had family out of work a lot, and those resources were stretched pretty thin. Ramen and a bag of frozen vegetables was a normal thing around my house when I was a kid. We're not saying that's a bad thing, but once you have money, or you've combined two modest incomes to create a larger income, it can be really hard to figure out how to manage it from there.
And manage the things that happen interpersonally from there.
Exactly. So, you can't talk about it because you've always been in the mindset of not talking about it, of just dealing with one disaster after another.
Yeah, one thing after another. Let me handle this crisis and this crisis and this crisis, this bill and this bill and this bill. Whereas many times what will happen and what will come out between a couple is that maybe in this power differential will show up in their sex life, where someone may be more interested in sex and someone might be more disinterested in sex. And this doesn't necessarily fall along gender lines. This doesn't necessarily fall along like what would be a traditional maybe two-person relationship. I work with many different types of relationship. These types of conversations happen, the conflict around them happen, or the avoidance of these conversations happen in every relationship that I've worked with in my practice. So Erin and I wanted to try to find a way to be able to talk to people about this in a very directive and realistic way that you could walk away with some serious tools. So here we are with our workshops. So we just wanted to give you a little taste of what this might look like and the things you'll hear about. And when it comes to sex and when it comes to money, these things are things we all do and have to deal with. And the more that we can deal with them in a healthy way, the more successful we can be at it, and the longer our relationships will last.
Exactly. Being honest, open, truthful, those are key qualities in any healthy relationship. Any healthy sexuality is key on communication. When you don't talk to your partner about what you like, you don't talk to your partner about how you're feeling about sex with them, it gets mundane, monotonous. And that can be just as damaging as being quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. That lack of communication can definitely breed maybe, monotonous, or maybe even a lack of sex altogether.
Exactly.
Where you stop having sex. So Erin and I want all of you to be able to have the best sex of your life, as well as being able to keep your control of your money and be able to have the honest, open conversations about it. And how do you manage conflict around those things? So again, these workshops, the first ones will be January 8th online and January 9th in person in Northport, Florida. Again, you can sign up for them at ericamiley.com/workshop, and we would love to have you. And then the coaching groups are going to be awesome. They're going to be small. They're going to be tight-knit. Erin and I want to get really knee-deep in these problems with folks, and this is going to be the first time we're offering these groups, so they're going to be at a reduced rate. So we're doing $40 per couple. And we're only doing 5 couples at a time. So small groups, it's going to be intimate. You're going to know everybody in the group. And by the end of it, you'll feel like you have some serious tools that you can walk away and improve your life with.
And I should clarify, I mean, that's an 8-week program, and that's $40 a week per couple. I mean, that's less than most people's copay.
Yep.
And you could pay it all at once, and we'll probably give you a discount, I'm betting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah,
you think that's a good holiday special right there?
Yes. So
it's already discounted, and we're going to give you another discount because we're cool like that. But here's the deal. It's never going to be that cheap again.
That's right. This is the first time we're doing this. So we want to make sure that we're getting the best information and providing those folks with the best things that we possibly can. But also, you're going to pay a little less because you are also the guinea pigs.
But we're going to drive a ton of value through that. Even just that communication alone. I mean, getting to know us, awesome. Worth its weight in gold.
So if you do have any questions, feel free to email me, erica@ericamiley.com. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But jump on the website, sign up, ericamiley.com/workshop. We would be absolutely thrilled to have you. Thank you, husband, for showing up today to help chat about these wonderful things we're doing.
It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait. All right. Thanks, y'all. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, folks. Please rate and review on iTunes. It helps this podcast get found. If you leave a 5-star review, let me know about it on any social media, and I'll shout you out on the podcast. You can find my website at ericamiley.com. You can find me on Facebook, the Gram, and Twitter. See y'all next time.